Okay, time for a life update video, y'all.
A highly requested by no one's video.
Okay, valid. Highly requested by no one. But here's the thing. I feel like we need this video for ourselves. Y'all, we have been everywhere this past month.
We need to make sense of what has happened to us. Pigeons are unafraid of humans in this city.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. Where have we been?
We've been all around, honestly. Also, before we start, can you show them our view right now? Look at the flowers. Show them the flowers.
Wow.
We've been to Seattle, then California, then Seattle again, then California again, then DC, back to New York, all within 3 weeks.
It's been a crazy last month, but
It
let's
really
start
has.
with us going to Seattle. Why did we go to Seattle?
So I had a call back for a show. I don't know if you remember, but when we surprised my sister, there happened to be auditions that weekend for this really great theater in Seattle. So I had a call back for one of their shows there. So that's why we initially flew back 3 weeks ago. It also happened to be my sister's birthday and Mother's Day.
And your mom's Mother's Day.
And my mom's Mother's Day. For my sister's birthday, we had a picnic with all her friends. We will insert a photo of the world's worst mistake we made. Tell them what happened, Chandler.
Okay, this is partially my fault. We spent like an hour and a half preparing all the food for Anna's birthday, making the guac, preparing all the coolers and stuff for the drinks,
Veggie tray.
charcuterie board, all the above. And I'm not used to Seattle, and I was the one driving, and I parked on a hill, and you probably know where this is going.
It makes me upset.
Sean was going to open the trunk to put his stuff in the back. All of the food that we made spills right out the back. Just devastating. And here's
Such
the
a
photo. It's
Rookie mistake.
Yeah, you needed a moment.
I was unwell. Chandler and I had been having like a day up until that point. And then when that happened, I took a lap. I was
Full
like,
lap. You needed it.
I needed a lap. I needed to be quiet. I needed to say no words and then come back and just let tears stream down my face.
I will say there's nothing more degrading than wiping up guacamole from the road.
From the cement. Guacamole cement. No, but it was beautiful. The picnic was beautiful. Celebrating Anna was great. The next day.
Got to meet a lot of their friends, which was so fun too. We're kind of becoming like Seattleites. A little bit.
I know. I do feel like Seattle's becoming like more familiar in our relationship. We would only do really infrequent visits until the past 6 months. So we were in Seattle for about 5 days.
And then we were off to California. Look at the view.
So beautiful.
It's so pretty. I miss this place.
I know, me too.
So we got to California, and we hadn't been back to California in
9 months.
And for reference, for y'all, maybe you're new here, we used to live in California before we moved to New York. We specifically lived in Newport Beach, which is like Orange County area. And so to be back was honestly so fun, so nostalgic. But what brought us to California was the fact that we were invited to a wedding.
Chandler was the best man, which I'm really proud of because I feel like it's a very high honor to be a best man at someone's wedding if they're not your sibling.
It's an honor. It's a privilege. Yeah, I don't think I'll be a best man in anyone else's wedding.
Unless you just really become a good friend to a single man.
Never say never. We got to Newport Beach, and the first stop.
Bear Flag Fish Co.
Oh, that place is so good. I wish they had the equivalent, honestly, somewhere here.
Fresh seafood, there really is nothing like it. So right when we got there, we only had about a day though before
Yes.
Chandler headed up to Palos Verdes, which is near LA, for the bachelor party.
So here's some fun stories from the bachelor party.
Night one.
What to share? Okay, night one, I am sharing a bed with the groom, and he falls terribly ill. It was probably like a 3 to 4 hour dilemma in the middle of the night. I didn't know what to do. I just woke up and he was like in shivers and chills, just making a lot of noises. What happened first was I had to wake up one of the other guys who was a nurse because it had already been like an hour, and I'm just like, I feel like this man is actually dying. We ended up going to 7-Eleven at, I guess this says it's at 2:45 a.m. Found ourselves at a 7-Eleven, got him some Tylenol. When we got back, he took the Tylenol. 30 minutes later, he ended up yakking all over the place. I'll spare you some other details, but essentially it was food poisoning, and it was not a great way to start off the wedding weekend, but honestly better that than originally we thought he had the flu or something, and he was just getting really fevery. So
Yeah.
I'm glad he just threw it all up and was a lot better the next day.
He was fine the next morning.
He rallied. Do I share this? Oh, I kind of got baby fever for the first time.
The first time, you feel like?
Oh, absolutely for the first time.
I know.
Have you had it before?
I really love babies, but I don't think I've had the desire to have one of my own yet.
Solid.
I love babysitting though.
And then we got them married. We didn't really do anything to get them married, but like they got married, and that was really cool to witness.
It was so much fun. While Chandler was there, all of the wives of all the husbands in the wedding party all hung out with me down in Newport. So fun to have a little girls' weekend.
The best part about the wedding was in their backyard where the reception was, there was a pool. And so we ended up throwing the groom into the pool, and then the bride jumped in.
And pretty much like 50 people jumped in the pool.
It was so much fun. I jumped in. Lucy rented her dress, so
I
she
rented
did not.
my dress, so I couldn't jump in.
It's okay. We
via
forgive.
$200 damage fee. So.
Oh my gosh, but here are the videos. It's so fun.
The morning after the wedding, I've gotten like 4 hours of sleep because we had to drive back. I had to get up really early to work the next morning and hop on a flight back to Seattle. And
Lucy is a trooper.
it honestly was okay. Like, it's one of those things where I was in my head that it was going to be miserable and terrible and I was going to have the hardest time, but it was okay. Like, I think my body just had a lot of adrenaline. So Chandler stayed in Newport. I got on a flight back to Seattle from Southern California for a different callback back in Seattle, different show entirely. Only went for 48 hours, landed in Seattle. The night I got back, I had a callback, was asked to come in the next day, had a second callback, and then the dance callback, and then flew out the morning after that. It was a quick Seattle trip, but it was honestly so great.
Okay, but these auditions, I feel like we need to rewind just slightly.
Back in March, when we initially surprised my sister, both of these regional theaters in Seattle had their auditions. I just did the initial auditions for them then. I got a call back for one of the theaters, and then I got a call back for the other theater, and then that same theater called me back for a different show. So it's been 3 different shows now. The first one was just like such an encouraging experience. There was just a lot more attentiveness because it's not run as much like the machine of New York with auditions. It felt a lot more personal. Their follow-up, their communication on email was just like excellent. And so it was really refreshing. But what did happen is I did have a little mishap on the second auditions. For many reasons, it was the worst audition of my life. Not because of anything the theater did. All me. The worst part of it was that in the dance call, I fully sprained my ankle in the middle of performing it, not just in the practicing of it, in the actual like performing when it was my turn. And so if you have not seen running series videos, that's why. I think I can't run for a while.
What happened?
I think I sprained my ankle. I had a dance call back today.
Can we see the move that you sprained it on?
Absolutely not. I think that's the point. Oh, picture this. 3-inch heels. Oh, 3-inch heels. Barrel turn.
Oh, Lou, careful.
I don't think it's broken. Because that was like 4 weeks ago now. It's still sprained. Let's not show my feet. I don't want to show my feet.
No free feet pics?
No free feet videos. It's still sprained, and hopefully I'll get back to running soon, but not right now.
Who's ready for California Part 2?
California Part 2. So I get back from Seattle.
And I'm still in California. So honestly, there's not a ton to update about California Part 2 because we actually made a video about that, which you can watch right over here.
It was good though. It was so reminiscent, and I think it just reminded me like where we are right now is the right place for us. Yeah. The dream would be to one day be bi-coastal.
Bi-coastal, baby.
Bi-coastal, baby.
We'll see. Can you help us make that a reality by subscribing to this channel? That'd be great.
Wait, yeah, it's all up to you.
It's all up to you right now.
Have you ever thought about that?
Do you believe in us? Oh, this is so awkward if you don't subscribe. That leads us to part 3 of our 1 month long travel
maybe
adventures.
This is part 5.
Part 5. I don't even know what part we're at, but
this is.
What's next? I forgot.
DC.
Next is DC.
Part 94 of our trip in the past 4 weeks.
Okay, and then after California, we went and visited our friends in DC.
2 of our closest friends just bought a home.
A condo, baby.
A condo in DC.
Okay, when you hear the word condo, do you just instantly think Miami?
When I hear condo, I think LA.
You think LA?
Yeah, because it's the first place I heard of someone having a condo.
I don't know why I think of Miami.
It's really fun to see our friends. These are our two of our closest friends from college, and seeing them like live out their dreams of living in their dream city.
Selfishly, we're really glad that they live a lot closer than they used to.
It smells like poop right here.
It does smell a little like poop. I say let's just keep going.
Okay.
It's probably because there's like a pee bottle right there. We rode some bikes around, what is this called?
Chandler, that's the U.S. Capitol.
United States Capitol. No, I just was like, what's the whole area called? Like the mall. Did they just call it the mall?
Yeah, the National Mall.
But we did the classic DC things is what we're trying to say.
Look at my shoulder muscle in that picture.
Wow, Lou. You're looking strong.
I look like I could punch someone.
And this is where actually things get really exciting. Our friend, or my friend, the groom, after they got married, they went on their honeymoon, but then right after that, he had to go to DC, and he had this 2-week-long training. He wasn't going to see his wife for 2 weeks right after they got married, which is honestly such a tragedy.
The morning after their honeymoon, he had to leave. She ended up deciding to surprise him. Coincidentally, that was also when we were there.
And he had no idea because I didn't tell him.
It was perfect timing. We ended up devising this whole plan for our friends who were in town there to try to make dinner plans with him when he was doing his training on his one night off. And then when they walked around the corner, we were there. He was 10 out of 10 excited. It was so fun. And then we kept walking a little further.
And wait. Before you explain the rest, here's the first video of us surprising him that we were there. Now we gotta do this. Surprise! Woohoo!
That's wild! That's actually insane.
Okay, keep going.
And then he's so excited. He wants to stay the night now. He calls the supervisor person to see if he can stay the night. And as he's calling his supervisor, we walk around the corner and here's his wife.
Surprise!
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye. My God!
Hey!
Oh my God!
Oh my God! I'm not gonna see you!
Oh my gosh! I'm really gonna cry!
It was honestly...
Okay, yeah, wasn't that just the most tender reaction?
It was so tender to see him in husband mode.
So cute.
The 6 of us ended up getting to hang out, spend time together the rest of the time we were there. Then we ended up taking a bus back to New York.
Which at this point, you maybe have already seen the short of us taking that bus.
It was our first partnership with a brand, and we got to do a collab with them called The Jet and take it from DC to New York. It only goes New York to DC to New York.
But it's like a luxury bus that's meant to replicate a private jet. So that's why they call it a jet, but it's definitely a bus. But it is like a really nice bus.
It was so great.
It was awesome.
We enjoyed it so much. We got back to New York.
But when we got back, the weather, y'all, insert weather.
The orange?
Okay,
The
yeah, it
orange
was crazy.
sky.
We lived through the apocalypse.
It's been an odd few days being back
It
for
has
sure.
been odd. Besides for that, the weather is now back to normal. The air, you can actually breathe it in, which is good. But we're happy to be back. And we're happy to be back for, honestly, the entirety of the summer. We don't
Until
have
August.
any sort of real travel plans for the next at least 2 months, which is, maybe that's not saying much, but it feels like a lot of time for us. So we're excited to be here, make some New York content.
They thought we were important. We're not.
Yeah, it always is funny filming in public, y'all. Filming in public is awkward. Awkward for, I think, both the person who's looking and also the person who's filming. So, it's a mutual experience. All right, this is the start of our official New York summer.
I'm so excited to be here.
Who's ready for some good vibes all around?
Some good vibes all around.
Did I sound like Brody when I said that?
No, I liked it. I just wanted to repeat it in a different voice.
Perfect. Okay, well, cheers.
Dink.
Hope you feel life updated, and we're excited to spend the summer here in New York.
We will see you soon.
See you in the next one.
Bye.